Welcome back to NTV News First Edition. Well, yesterday, the province unveiled reopening plans for the province, and while many greeted that news with joy, excitement, and plans to reunite with loved ones, the easing of restrictions is also a source of anxiety and caution for many. In today's Get Psyched with Dr. Janine, we're going to discuss how to cope with these mixed emotional reactions. And joining us live in our newsroom tonight, of course, Dr. Janine Hubbard, the happy lady.
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing really well. I am one of the people who I am pretty excited about this reopening plan. But I know, after 15 months of lockdowns, restrictions, shouldn't we all be excited about these easing restrictions?
Well, it is a bit of a balance, and I'm one of those who's a little more apprehensive. While I'm excited, I may be someone who's slower to adopt some of the changes, and that's okay. Really, what we know is it's going to be a period of adjustment for us, because we have spent the last 15 months having a very strong message conveyed about not doing things because they were dangerous and potentially deadly, and we are now being told you can start going and doing those again, which for some people is an easy adjustment, and for others is going to take a little bit more time and patience.
So what can we do to help readjust?
Well, I think the biggest thing is knowing yourself, being kind to yourself, and doing things at your own pace. Just because things are available doesn't mean you have to jump into them if you're not ready yet. Go in baby steps, as opposed to suddenly going to a wedding with a whole lot of people if that's not what you're ready for. Maybe it's, going over to someone's house that you haven't seen in person or in their house in over a year, and spending an evening with 2 or 3 people, figuring out where your comfort levels are, and then pushing it gradually and increasing it. And the biggest thing we can do is be kind to both ourselves and others, and really appreciate that probably for the next, I'd say at least 6 months, we're going to be on very different comfort levels, where we need to be respectful that some people just aren't going to be ready to do some of the socializing and the traveling, and being respectful of that, and also at the same time being excited and encouraging for the people who are ready to do things safely, and remembering that public health has steered us all the way through this and kept us safe. So if we keep listening to the messages, because they will probably shift and change from time to time, if they're telling us that it's okay for things to start to reopen, listening to the science.
I wonder about children. There are children who were born during the pandemic. They've only ever seen strangers with masks on, or family members with masks on, and older kids who are used to, not being in gatherings or not being in large groups. How are they going to be able to adjust?
Again, I think it's going to really depend on partly the modeling that parents do for them. So it's going to be talking about how to do it safely and carefully. But it is going to be really funny in many ways, and I think we'll have to make some jokes about that's what the bottom half of your face looks like. Because I have had people in my life for the last year that I have never properly met. And again, how we handle that, if we can, make light of it, if we can acknowledge it and acknowledge that this is weird for all of us. And I think the more openly we talk about this is weird, I'm feeling okay with it, I'm feeling uncomfortable with it, talking about those feelings out loud and sharing them with our loved ones is going to be really important.
And we have about 30 seconds left, but if someone watching this evening is kind of really struggling with this whole idea of reopening, what should they do?
If you're really feeling stuck, now is a time to reach out, because it's so hard and so lonely and isolating to be surrounded by people who are super excited, and inside you are terrified, but you're oftentimes afraid to speak up because you're not able to share in their joy and their celebration. So reach out, talk to trusted loved ones, reach out to professional mental health staff as needed, because we are going to get there, but this is going to be an easy adjustment for some and a much harder journey for others.
Okay. Well, Dr. Hubbard, I'm really happy that you're in, and you and I will continue to chat about this, because it's interesting that you're more apprehensive and I'm gung-ho.
Well, and I think we're going to have a process, like I say, for about 6 months as we all readjust to whatever our new normal is going to look like.
All right. Thanks so much for coming in.
Anytime.
And this is a